Are you ready to be the best that you can be? Join hybrid business coach and consultant Charity Brown and her guest as they give you behind-the-scenes access to the insider tips and tricks that will help you take your business to the next level. Charity has an extraordinary approach to boosting businesses to break out of their modes, influence their industries, and become leaders of their packs. And she's ready to pass this inspiring knowledge on to you today. Learn how to change your game and build your business into what you've always dreamed of, right here on the Create Clarity with Charity podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Create Clarity with Charity podcast. Today, we have an amazing entrepreneur with us, Antonio Martinez with Legendary Infopreneurs.com. Hi, Antonio.
Hi, Charity. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. It's an honor for me to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for being there all the way from Chile. It's that's pretty far south. How is it there?
Yeah, it's supposed to be winter now. It's supposed to be cold weather, but particularly today, it's extremely hot. I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
And it's very inconvenient because I'm sweating again. I need
okay. We're turning the heat up here.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
That's awesome. So that is amazing. So not only do you live in Chile and have scaled your business to $1 million, but you've done it from outside the country because you are global, right? I mean, for some reason, I thought you were in the US and, using the resources and tools here, but you've done this all the way from Chile.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
I created my very first business in the Latin American market because Spanish is my native language, and that's how I relate to people, talking in Spanish. And I've created my first YouTube channel and to talk about trading stocks and trading forex. And I started getting visitors from all the globe. At first, it was Latin America and Spain, but all of a sudden I'm getting visitors from Italy, from Greece, from Saudi Arabia, Japan, all the Spanish-speaking people, around the world,
all over the
who's
world.
watching.
That's amazing, from all countries, worldwide.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, you hit the entrepreneur infopreneur before it really was a big deal, before COVID. You already had tapped the market and found out what was working.
Yes, that's right. I started this business back in by the end of 2014. Actually, 2015 was the first year that was actually profitable for me in that business. And I was in what is now known as the knowledge industry. And I knew about this name from Tony Robbins and then Gracioso when they ran this Build Your Brand Challenge back in 2019. And I said, wow, I'm a part of the knowledge industry. I didn't even know it was called that.
Wow. And that is the truth right there. I mean, you created like 21 how-to videos before anyone was doing how-to videos in regards to business and sharing the secrets, the insider secrets that a lot of people didn't have access to. So you brought that to the forefront in regards to the trading, right?
Yes, that's right. I actually was a student myself. I was studying trading, and I was trying to, this came from a friend who asked me to teach him about what I was doing in trading. And I tried to, and I told him to go to a website where I learned what I knew. And he said, well, that could have been in Chinese because I couldn't understand a thing. So I said, well, read this book. It's for dummies. And it was kind of the same result. So I tried to teach him myself, and he understood clearly. I was able to translate into a simple words what the complex concepts of trading, and I enjoyed the teaching experience, and that's how I decided to, I can go public with this.
Yeah, and you did it really well, obviously. So that's super encouraging because that's kind of my industry as well. really getting the info to the people. And now that you're focusing not necessarily on trading stocks and financial type of trainings, you're focusing on helping people build the business that made you 7 figures and how to do that and the tactic and the skills to do that.
Yes,
So that's
absolutely.
super cool, because that that could be a hard knock life for some of us. I mean, stumbling blocks and roadblocks and, you know, taking the wrong turns and not having a guide, somebody who's done it before, try it ourselves, we can run into a lot of problems. So it's a real opportunity out there, listeners, to get the framework that Antonio used to scale his stock trading and trading business, knowledge business into a 7-figure machine. So it's a real honor to have you here. So there was also, you know, my show is more about the entrepreneur themselves. So we could talk about how amazing your e-programs are, and, you know, how great the platform is, and, you know, all the business tools it takes, you know, to cut the video and the right kind of equipment. But really what people want to know is you, Antonio. How did you get that entrepreneur spirit, that with the true grit, with the resilience to get back up? Because we all know everyone has to fall and have some failures while in business. They don't really make that known.
Sure.
Not a lot of people talk about that, the failures. But I think that that's really what's important these days, is about getting the right information and the experience to the listeners. You know, what kind of mindset or what kind of coaches did you have that helped you, guide you into the right direction to get where you are today?
Sure. Well, ever since I was a kid, almost, I figured there was something wrong with the traditional plan of, you know, go to school and get a good job and retire after 4 years. That was, everybody was saying to me, or that this is what you're supposed to do with your life. But I kept thinking, you know, how is it that riches become rich? Because they're not employees. So how to get there? I didn't have the answer. I knew there was something wrong with it, but I couldn't tell what was wrong with it, until my mom gave me the Rich Dad Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
And that book was, I took it, I said, thank you, and put it on the shelf, and it stayed there for, I don't know, 2 years almost. And one day, yes, it was it was there in the bookshelf. And one day, I don't know why, I was just bored. I don't know. I took the book and I couldn't stop reading until I finished it. I finished it in one day. It was taking the ribbon off my eyes, because that's when I knew what was wrong with the plan, with the traditional plan. And not only I knew, I learned what was wrong with it, but I learned what was the right plan to follow, you know.
Yes.
And that's when I knew I wasn't going to be an employee for the rest of my life. There's something.
Yeah, I think it's your phone, but I think that's so cool, because Robert Kiyosaki really taps into those quadrants, right? Like that's his main, like, are you going to be an employee? Are you going to be an investor? Are you going to be a business owner? Are you going to be a CEO? Or I think I think investor is in the far left quadrant. And that is really like, you know, to say, oh, we know how it feels to say, oh, I'm an employee, I am a W-2. I think we both did that and maybe didn't enjoy it. And then we get into being, you know, a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, a gig worker, like maybe we had a 1099 and we're freelancing, right? And then it grew into this, you know, multiple 6-figure, 7-figure business. Now you're a business owner, but you're still working so hard every day. And so then Robert Kiyosaki really says, hey, don't forget about that investor quadrant, because there is life after business, right?
Yes.
Some of us make it, some of us don't. So, but with that mentality of that, you know, really ingraining that into the minds that are open to that idea of being different, not following societal norms, breaking out of the box,
Yeah.
doing things that differently. And so that is what you did. I mean, you obviously took that mindset and that motivation and that fight for freedom, right? It was really a fight for
Yes.
freedom.
Yes, absolutely. And I had a lot of hard times where I couldn't, I couldn't almost feed my family, but I refused to look for a traditional job because I knew that if I got a job, even if it was a good one, especially, I mean, particularly if it was a good one, I would get caught again in the rat race, and
Yeah.
I would, give up on my dreams, and that was something I wasn't willing to do. I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to be an investor. I wanted to build my business and get financial freedom, which is the ultimate goal,
Yes.
And well, finally, I was able to do it.
And that is your mountain high. You did it. You hit the 7 figures. And that is a huge milestone. Some people will never get there, like top 1, 2, 3%, right? So congratulations on that. And you learned an immense amount of life lessons during that journey. And I know you said you're comfortable talking about your wins and failures and your valley lows and the lessons that you learned there as an entrepreneur, having a product online that's doing well, getting you the notoriety and the attention, basking in the big bank account and being able to have trips with your family and that freedom can so easily be ripped away, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And can cause us complete devastation and despair. Like with the restaurant business, owning and operating my own restaurants, lottery bars, and facilities, I had a hard knock lesson in failure myself that I had to get back up for, no matter how bad it hurt, no matter the humility, no matter the loss, right? As true entrepreneurs, having that burning desire is kind of like ingrained internally in us. Like the fire burns so bright that no matter, even with a failure that's so big that feels like it just robbed us of our livelihood and what we've been working for, and how to regain that, and what was the lesson there instead of getting stuck there and just stay there, right? Because it is a choice to get back up and try again.
Yes, of course. So obviously, during my journey, I had a lot of failures in different kind of businesses. I even tried to. I got a loan to buy a women's boutique. I've never had a brick and mortar store, and I tried that, and I went to bankrupt within 6 months.
Oh wow!
That was devastating because I got a loan to buy this store, and I got in a huge debt, and I had no income. I had no source of income because I lost the store. But I had to move to a smaller apartment, and I had to cut my expenses and try to find another way to get a source of income. And that's when I told you before that I had a hard time trying to feed my family, and I refused to get a job. I'm a computer engineer, and it is you can get a good job as a computer engineer, but I refused to get a good job.
Yeah,
that was a big failure, and I learned a lot of lessons out of that. But the biggest, the ultimate life lesson I got was when I lost my online courses business, because this is when I made my first home run. That's the first 7-figure business that I actually was able to build. I was selling these trading courses while I was a student, but my audience they assumed that if I was talking about trading and I was doing it with so confident, they assumed that I was a successful trader, and I never denied that. I let them believe that I was a successful trader. And this white lie with in time became a blatant lie. And I embraced this image of the successful trader in order to create my YouTube videos and to teach trading to other people. And while I was able to pull some decent earnings out of trading, I wasn't a millionaire because of trading. I was a millionaire because I was selling courses about trading. And people found out about this lie, and I lost my credibility and I lost my business almost overnight.
Wow.
And YouTube flooded with accusations and hate comments and bullying and horrible videos talking things about me, horrible things about me. And this was a very difficult time for me, because not only I lost my business, I lost my only source of income, and I lost my reputation along the way, but I was still getting this horrible things said about me online, and even in real life, because a couple of times some people recognized me in the street. I had a huge channel, 150,000 people in the Spanish market. So some people recognized me on the street. And before that, it was nice to be recognized. But after that, it was kind of scary, because I even got some guy who threatened me in the street. He said, "Fix this because you have to pay for what you did," or whatever. So I went into a deep depression that lasted for almost a year. And I felt like I was worthless. I felt stupid. I felt I was blaming myself. Of course, it was my fault because I decided to lie to my audience, but still, it was a very difficult situation. So I thought that my life was basically over, and I didn't really get to the worst part of the depression, because I have a daughter, and I said to myself, I can't let my daughter to think that his father is so coward and his father is a bad person. I need to clean my name. I just don't know how, because I'm so depressed. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And after about, I think, 7 months, I stumbled into a Tony Robbins and the Ingressiosity seminar. It was actually a challenge, and they were talking about this knowledge industry. That's when I found out that I was a part of the knowledge industry, unknowingly a part of the knowledge industry. And they were saying you have basically three ways to be a part of the knowledge industry. You can share your knowledge. The knowledge that you already have because you studied it, because you have experience or whatever. You can be the interviewer, you can be the middleman, you can interview experts and show these experts to your audience, introduce these experts to your audience and be the middleman. Or you can turn your mess into a message. And these words are the ones that brought me the light at the end of the tunnel. I said, I'm in a huge mess. How can I turn this into a message? Because that's when I realized that I really had something valuable, extremely valuable to share, which is basically two things. One is a life lesson that I got, that lying is extremely dangerous and it's extremely wrong. Even if they are white lies, they are potentially dangerous because they can, this is a snowball. And the second one is that I knew how to build a 7-figure business by creating and selling courses online. And this is a skill that I can repeat, and I can even show other people how to do it, because I already did. And I know, based on a lot of trial and error that I've been living in the last 3 years, what works and what doesn't work in this business, and how to do this business without losing your freedom. Because, one thing is to have a 7-figure business, and a different thing is to be free, because a lot of 7-figure earners are slaves of their jobs. And I was really free. I had a lot of free time with my business, because I didn't have a team. I was a solopreneur, and I kept a solopreneur all the way up to 7 figures from zero, from my debt, not even zero. I was below zero because I was in debt by 80,000. From minus 80,000 to 7 figures, I stayed alone the whole way. The way I did that was creating this bunch of videos. I posted it to my website, and then I created a YouTube channel and started talking about that. And I never paid for ads. I never paid for advertising in any way. I had no marketing department or marketing team taking care of the email marketing, nothing like that. I did it all by myself. And at the end of every YouTube video, I said something like, if you liked this video and if you're interested in learning more about this, you need to know I have a basic course in my website for $49, so you can go there and buy that. And that was my only marketing, and that was the only thing I did. I'm sorry, I lost you. I think your mic is off. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was saying that was even more amazing that you made the $1 million off a $49 course. So yes. That is so amazing, because that would mean that, you know, over 250,000 people purchased your program or something like that. Like,
yes.
And that shows that it's very possible that you don't have to charge $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for these e-courses. You can literally become a millionaire off a $49 course.
Yes, because I see a lot of, I'm sorry to interrupt there, because I've seen a lot of infopreneurs out there selling $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 products, and they have to jump into calls with the customer and do a one-on-one work with them. I never did anything like that. I just had my YouTube channel. I posted 1 or 2 videos a month. Yes, a month, not even a week. Wow. I posted 1 or 2 videos a month. So I wasn't really working, you know. How long does it take to create a video? 1 day, maybe, to record, edit, and post 1 day. Yeah. I was working 1 day a month, and I was selling $35,000 to up to $42,000 a month by working 1 day a month. I had a lot of free time. So I knew how to build this automated system that can grow up to a 7 figures business. And I think I lost you again. Oh no, you're sharing your yeah. I could teach people how to replicate what I did, and that was extremely valuable. That was one thing that I could take out of my mess and turn it into a message. I could teach people how to do what I did. And the second thing is that is my life lesson, which is lying is wrong. And you don't need to lie in order to build a 7-figure business. It's actually, this business actually works a lot better if you're absolutely honest and absolutely transparent with your audience. This makes you be perceived as an authentic person and as a person who's trustworthy. So so I cannot blend these 2 messages or these 2 lessons that I got from this experience, and now I'm trying to teach people how to build a 7-figure business, but a radically honest 7-figure business with a radically honest marketing, with a radically honest promises to your audience. Because this means not only that you stay true to what you are and not pretending to be someone who you're not, but also not making promises that you cannot fulfill, and you know, staying true, staying always true. You don't need to use this marketing strategies like posting a live webinar that's not really live. That's some practices that a lot of people are doing, and you don't need to. You don't really need to. And you know, people can tell if a webinar is not live. I've seen a lot of people doing this. Yeah. And this makes you be perceived as not untrue. Honest. You know.
Yeah. Live. Yes, it's not live. It's not honest. You know? Yes, how about pre-recorded webinar? That's what you're watching. Yeah, right. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Yes, yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yes, and that
Yeah.
is such a good point because there are so many fakes out there. That is the
Mm.
like, I mean, to all the listeners out there, I mean, we all know like, how do we know when we're talking to a real consultant or coach or a fake? Who are the real experts? How can you vet them and, you know, really be able to trust who you're talking to? And that's something that I run into a lot, is that there's just so much noise in the marketplace. There's just so many experts or people saying they're
Yeah.
experts and then don't deliver. So like, it's super important to have your framework dialed in. And so I think that's what your program does here. Here I'm on your legendary infopreneur.com website, where you will help dial in the framework. So people, one, they already have to be an expert, right? They already have to have the knowledge. They already have to know something or have a product or something to sell, right? They can't just come here and go, I don't really know what kind of business I want to do. Can I just click the button and you're going to show me how to make a business?
Yes, actually, you don't need a product, and you don't. Many people think I can be a part of the knowledge industry. I cannot create or sell online courses because I have nothing to teach. And that's exactly that's precisely my first lesson in the course, because you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be at the top. I created my very first online course. It was about trading, and I wasn't a trader. I was studying trading. So you can share with my mistake was to let people believe that I was a trader myself, but I could have shared with them. I could have come clean and said, I'm a student, but I have this talent. I'm a natural to translate complex concepts into simple words, so I can teach you what I've been learning, and I've been filtering the good information from the bad one, and I can show you the good information because I've been doing this research for a long time, and this is what I'm sharing with you, and you can do that. You know, this is one example that I like to use, and I actually use it in my first lesson, because you know the picture, the motion picture, the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. It was about it. This is a real life story. And it was about Frank Abagnale Jr., who was a famous con man. It was so famous that Hollywood made a movie about it, about him. But this one of his many crimes was to impersonate people, and he impersonated a pilot, a lawyer, a physician, and one of those impersonations, this kind of happens at first in the movie. He impersonated sociology teacher for his college peers, to college students. And years later, after he was caught and after he was working for the FBI, an interviewer asked him, how was possible for him to impersonate a sociology teacher while he was basically a teenager? He wasn't a sociology himself, a sociology teacher himself. And he said, well, it was very easy. I just read the next chapter of the book before the students, and that's how I taught the next lesson.
Oh,
so
wow.
this basically proves that you just need to know a little more than your students, so you have something to teach. Now you don't have to impersonate a sociology teacher, you know. You just have to tell people, you know, if you're in level 6, you can help people from level 0 to level 5 how to reach your level. And as you teach that, you're basically growing your own knowledge, and now you're in level 7 or level 8, and you can help more people. So this is basically what I'm saying. You can create an online course because you have something to teach, whether it's a skill, whether it's a hobby, a passion, a knowledge that you studied. You do have something to teach. You always have something to share. You have some knowledge that other people need, because one common mistake is that we think that is what comes easy for us. We think that it comes easy for everyone else, and that's a key mistake.
Yeah.
Because because there's a lot of people out there who would like to know what you know, and you can teach that. And you're doing a disservice to people if you are not teaching that, because there's a lot of people out there who is willing to pay. They are willing to pay you to learn.
Yeah. And with, I listened to some of the words that you're saying about, you know, scaling up, you know, going from level 6 to 7, 8 to 10. And that's kind of what we do in our coaching program with coaches, and like with Dean Graciosi and Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
They take you from being like at a level 3 or 4 all the way up to a 10. So within your courses, it's also, when people are learning, they also need to grow their inner fitness, right? They need to get that mindset. They need to drop the limiting beliefs. They need to really
Yes.
dial into like what their soul and they're passionate about and what they can deliver to the people. So there is an element of that within your courses as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have as I have a lesson about finding your passion and finding what you can teach. I have a lesson about mindset and the right mindset that you need to have and to embrace to get into this business, because it's very important to overcome your limiting beliefs. I had to overcome some of my own limiting beliefs, actually, to create this very business. It's Legendary Infopreneur business, because I always wanted to expand my reach to the English market, but I said I can't do that because my English is not good enough. I mean, I always said to myself, yes, I do speak English, but enough to pass my English tests, not to teach native English speaking people anything. Mm-hmm. And that was my limiting belief. And that's why I never translated my trading courses into English, even though I could have. Mm-hmm. But I never did because of that limiting belief. And I had to overcome, I was kind of forced to overcome this limiting belief, because this was valuable information that I could share with a lot of people. And the Spanish market was kind of, I would say my name was kind of stained because of what happened with the first business. Mm-hmm. And starting out in the English market is kind of like a fresh start for me, because now I know that I am delivering value to people, and they are not, how do you say they're
receiving it? They're appreciating
yes, they're receiving it in a good way, because they don't have this prejudices.
Right, they're not prejudiced to the accent. Yeah, prejudice towards the accent, maybe, or that you're not a native English speaker. I think it's fun to listen to, you know, people that it's their second, third language. The accents, it makes it more colorful. You know, it feels like a, you know, like listening to a new song or something, because, you know, you're very articulate, so you do speak very clearly English. So I could see, you know, that why you would do a program in English, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with your accent. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, there is a bias sometimes, who knows, but then maybe the course isn't for them. It doesn't really matter. There'll definitely be an audience of people that are, you know, needing to hear what you have to teach. So I'm so glad you dropped that negative belief and got right back on that horse again and created this amazing new opportunity for people, because that it really is crucial, because there are so many people trying to create e-courses, but they don't have a framework and they don't have the know-how. And even here, you have the free download, the 5 mistakes you should avoid when creating your first online course. And that is a key. Like, first, you know, focus on the need to know of what to avoid, because it's a huge tangly web out there, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you for your kind words about my English. My limiting belief comes from the fact that I never took an English course, and I've never been to an English speaking country. I learned by myself. I taught myself by watching TV and reading magazines.
Nice. That's why it sounds so natural. It doesn't sound like forced. It flows nice, and you use colorful example words that like bring the sentences to life. So you can it's better than, learning online or whatever. I guess. When you watch TV,
Yeah, I
it
guess
must have taken a few decades to learn that, because it's really
yeah,
good.
yeah, sure.
How many years,
Thank you.
like, right? If you want to learn fast, get the online course to learn English good. But if you want to have a nice dialect that's articulate, it may take longer. You can learn it yourself. That's awesome.
Yes.
So more on the mindset part, because it really is about overcoming the obstacles. And we all know there's tons of them out there. Like, if it was easy, everybody would be an entrepreneur making 7 figures, 8 figures, right? So it's kind of a dog eat dog world out there. And, to be able to share, your knowledge and help people, sidestep the stumbling blocks of this newer age type learning platforms. It takes, coaches and mentors and people, like you say, you're self-made, which, yes, I totally understand that, because I was self-made too. I made my own accounting and bookkeeping business for 20 years. I was my own boss. I got all my own clients. I did all my own marketing. I did it all myself. Right. And I took a lot of pride in that. I did that, but I couldn't scale it above $250,000 a year, because it's human capital, right? We only have the same hours in the day. We all only have 24 hours in the day, right? So how do you take a business like that, like expert services, like you were doing with, day trading and stocks, you made that an exponential growth machine. And to have that vision of being able to, because I can just do one-on-one coaching and, consult, or helping one client with their numbers, but to be able to do that on an exponential level, that is like a mindset shift in itself, because then you're talking to like 1,000 people in that 1 hour instead of talking to one person in that 1 hour. So did you have a moment in time where it was like kind of enlightening, where you're just like, I'm just going to make a video so I can teach this to 1,000 people in 1 hour? Or was it just like, I'm just going to load this and see what happens? Was it literally just like kind of like didn't even have a business plan? Did you have planning? Did you have, the idea really like strategically aligned? Did you do planning exercises and things like that?
Well, I'm not much of a planner. I am more like an spontaneous one. I do things that I think. I'm always testing. I'm always A/B testing, and I won't say A/B. I will say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, because I'm always testing a lot of things. And I back when my friend asked me about trading, and I enjoyed teaching him, and I said, I can create videos, and I can post this video. I can teach people about this, because I can put complex things, complex concepts in simple words, and I think people will consume this. And I posted this to my website, and because I had no audience, of course, nobody was buying. And I tried leveraging the Groupon. Do you know Groupon?
Groupon,
the coupon, Groupon. They were here. They are here in Chile, and I thought about offering my courses through Groupon, because they have the list, they have the customers, and I did that for a few months. But I figured that they were selling a lot, and I was keeping almost nothing. I mean, Groupon takes a big piece of the cake. So I said, you know what? This proved me that the courses are good, because people are buying, and after they buy, they are emailing me. This kind of work just to be known, within a group of people, a huge group of people. This group allowed me to reach people and test drive my course, and people liked my course, and they were emailing me basically to thank me, and maybe to ask some questions, and asking me for more advanced lessons, because they already learned what I was teaching. And I eventually I said, you know what, I'm not selling through Groupon anymore. I will sell by myself. And that's when I created my channel, my YouTube channel. I started growing my own audience. And at first, my courses were selling 1 or 2 courses a month. And by the end of the first year, I was selling close to $5,000 a month. And by the end of the third year, I was selling almost 40,000 a month. This is, yes, this is hard work. I won't say it is not. And it's kind of slow, you know. This is not an overnight success, but it pays off, because not many people can make $1 million in 3 years, you know, even though they are working a lot. This is the video I was talking to you before. Oh, yeah. This is because I was this is my YouTube channel. It barely has a, I don't know, kind of.
Yes, everyone look up Legendary Infopreneur, Legendary Infopreneur channel on YouTube. And so you have this is where the magic happens, right? The freebies. People love free content, right? And this is all free. Yes. You can subscribe and you can get these infopreneur client, how to build clients, how to tutorials, build a tutorial, the right kind of equipment, right? And this is, you know, about really how to start your own e-learning business.
Yes,
right
absolutely.
Here. So that's awesome.
I'm replicating basically what I did in the Spanish market. I'm sharing knowledge for free on YouTube and inviting people to buy my course if they want to learn more.
Yeah, and this is the newest, best version, right? This is your updated, yes, with your newest curriculum and everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yes.
That's awesome. So all you listeners out there, if you want to, you get a taste of what Antonio is doing here, make sure you go to the Legendary Infopreneur YouTube channel, as well as visit the .com and get the free avoid the 5 mistakes to starting an e-commerce business or e-business, and see how simplified he makes this, because it really is at this point in the game for you, simplicity is bliss, right? You pretty much boiled this down to the most simplistic way to reach $1 million by selling info knowledge online.
Yes, that's right. It's simple, and it's almost all revenue. It's almost all profit, because you don't have to pay a team and you don't have to pay for ads. Well, now I'm testing ads because I'm starting out in the English market, and this is a market I've never been to. This is something else. That's not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
They see how sneaky they are. They put that little ad right there by your.
Yeah.
And that's so amazing that you scaled to $1 million with no ads, everyone. Like, is that even? Yeah. That's almost unheard of. So congratulations on that tip, because that is really what most people are struggling with. They think that, you know, oh, they'll buy a domain name and then they'll buy their business name. They'll set up their LLC. They'll do all their videos, and they'll upload their program, and they'll be like, I'm going to make 100 grand next month. And then you hear crickets.
Yes, that's right.
And you're like, wait, okay, now where are all my new clients at? Right? Yeah. So there's definitely tips and tricks to that in your program, because you did it organically, right?
Yes, I did it organically, even though I have included a lesson in my course about paid ads and how to run paid ads on Google and Facebook and TikTok. And I'm leveraging this on TikTok, Google, and Facebook experts, because I am not an expert in Facebook, Google, and TikTok ads, but I can leverage a knowledge from experts on these subjects to include in my program, because I know there's a lot of people who want to grow rapidly and they don't want to wait 1 year or 2 years to grow. So you can grow faster paying for ads, which is not what I did. But if you want to, there's a lesson about this in my course.
Awesome. And I love you have your inspirational quotes here, because it is all about being inspired. So you must have had some people that were inspiring you through all of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, I'm talking about quotes and inspiration. You asked me about mentors, and basically I can name Robert Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins and Think Graciously. just to answer.
Mine too.
your
They're my
question in
favorites,
other words.
honestly. I mean, Tony, when I was 18, I went to the Firewalker convention and it was 3 days at the Hyatt Regency
Awesome.
and we walked across fire. Okay. That man
Wow.
will have
Yeah.
you walk across fire and not hurt
Yeah.
yourself and believe you completely do it. And that is that transformation in our mind where fear is the enemy and fear will stop us from really living our dreams. So overcoming the stumbling blocks, overcoming the failures, overcoming, you know, the negative publicity and all that negative self chatter that we put in our head that maybe people have perpetuated through failures we had in life and it just stuck, you know, and a lot of people stay there and they can't move on, but you did. So congratulations, because you definitely had some good coaching from Dean and Tony to remember that your mess is your message, right?
Thank you. Yes, that's right.
And I love that because that's actually Lisa Nichols, who's an amazing coach. And, you know, my book, Create Clarity with Charity, is all about my mentors, coaches, and why you should have one, especially at the level of the game that you're at, Antonio, especially after you already know your true potential of being able to hit that $1 million and then really being passionate and loving about what you do by helping others. That is the end game, right? The evolutionary entrepreneur, when you are giving back and receiving for yourself. So like you're saying, you know, it gets really, your business can devour you. It can swallow you whole if you don't have the right team processes and controls in place, right? It could be over in a flash of the light. And that happens in the restaurant business too. Like you will literally get eaten up and spit out within 30 to 60 to 90 days if you really don't know what you're doing. And so that also happens in e-commerce and all businesses, that you really do need to do your due diligence. You really do need to get with an expert, somebody who's been there and done it. And you really do need a solid framework to accomplish such a huge feat of making $1 million or more. So I love that you have your inspirational info quotes here on your YouTube, and, you know, you're all into, you know, creating the legendary entrepreneur. So thank you so much, Antonio, for, you know, coming on the show and sharing your journey as an entrepreneur and, you know, your valley low and your mountain highs, and giving back to the entrepreneur community. So everyone, or do you have any last advice for our audience? Anything that you just need them to know so they can scale and also land on your site and get with you on your courses?
Well, basically, I want people to know everyone have something to teach. Even if you think you don't, you do. I'm telling you, you do. I actually have posted my first lesson for free on my YouTube channel in order to prove you wrong. It's 12 minutes. You can go watch in my YouTube channel this first lesson to prove you wrong. You do have something to teach. And the second is that you need to stay always true to yourself and to your audience. You need to be honest. Living an honest and transparent life is so liberating. It provides you with a level of freedom that I have never experienced, and I want you to experience that, because it's wonderful to having nothing to hide from your loved ones. If you're looking for the first lesson, you can go up, all the way up.
I'm all the way up.
Click my logo. Click my logo. Yes, that one. Go to videos.
Oh, wow. Oh, we got sound effects. Hey. Oh. Cool.
Go to videos, the videos tab. It's right there. Yes. And now a little down. There's the video. More.
From broke to millionaire.
No, that's my story. Can you make money and help people by selling courses online? It's the
awesome. Okay, yes,
that's one. It's a 12 minutes and 23 seconds to prove you that you do have something to teach. If you think that you have nothing to teach, go watch that video. Give me 12 minutes and I prove you wrong.
Awesome. And there's your challenge, folks. Get out there, let him prove you wrong. And then you go click on buy his program and you're off to your first million.
Well, my program is not available for buying yet. I'm about to launch this program within the next 30 days. I think it's less than 30 days. But I'm building a list to launch the program, and I will say 3 weeks tops.
Nice. Okay. So by the time we go live here on this cast, you guys can definitely get in on this new program launch. How long is the program?
The program it contains 4 lessons within 9 modules. It totals around 7 hours of video, plus awesome. Documents and templates. It's a complete step-by-step blueprint. It's a brain dump on everything I know about creating and selling digital courses online.
Perfect.
It goes, as I said, from finding out what you can teach and getting the right gear and configuring your equipment, and how to record and edit video, how to get the mindset, how to set your price, how to name your course, how to create the syllabus, outline your course content, how to write your lessons, how to use storytelling, how to build your brand on social media. It contains absolutely everything you need to build a 7-figure business by selling courses online.
Sweet. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Antonio. I love the keep it real, keep it authentic, keep it transparent, people. You don't want to get caught up in white lies. And, you know, you will have that inner freedom. That's, you know, a big one with my coaching is being able to sleep well at night and love who you are when you're looking in the mirror. So keeping it honest and being authentic will assure you happiness in the long run, even though it might be the harder road.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, you all have an amazing day. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to check out legendaryinfopreneur.com. Ciao.
Thank you very much. Bye.
You're welcome.